In the Garden of Eden, we were told a story of a paradise lost, a fall from grace. But what if the story we've been told isn't the full truth? What if the Garden of Eden wasn't just a simple garden, but a lab, a meticulously controlled environment where humanity's true purpose was tested? For centuries, we've been taught to see the serpent as the villain, the tempter, the deceiver. But what if, in reality, the serpent was the whistleblower, the one who gave humanity the gift of self-awareness? Could it be that the very moment we were told we fell, we were actually awakening? This awakening wasn't a punishment. It was the first step into our evolution, the opening of our eyes to the divine potential we were always meant to realize. In this video, we will dive deep into the hidden truths of Eden, uncovering secrets that have been concealed for millennia. You'll learn about the Anunnaki, those ancient beings who shaped our creation, and why they may not have had our best interests in mind. We will explore the true meaning behind the forbidden fruit, and how it was never about sin, but about unlocking a higher consciousness, a higher calling that was always intended for us. What if everything we've been taught about the story of Adam and Eve was meant to suppress the divine spark inside us? What if the key to understanding the human condition lies hidden in the genetic upgrade the serpent imparted to humanity? Prepare to be shaken as we uncover the truth behind the serpent's gift and why it has never been the sin we've been led to believe. By the end of this journey, you will see humanity's origin story in an entirely new light, one that offers freedom, evolution, and awakening. Stay with me as we peel back the layers of this ancient mystery. Don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments, because the truth we're about to unveil must be shared. Subscribe because you won't want to miss the next piece of this sacred puzzle. Are you ready to see Eden for what it truly was? A laboratory of creation, not just a garden of paradise? Let's begin. In the beginning, Eden was not merely a place of beauty, peace, and divine fellowship. No, Eden was much more than what we've been taught to believe. It was a carefully curated divine experiment, an advanced biosphere where humanity's potential was meticulously shaped. The true meaning of Eden, its essence, has been hidden behind the walls of myth, shrouded in a veil of innocence and guilt, love and shame. Yet it contains a story far greater than what we can comprehend. We have been told for generations that Eden was an orchard, a perfect paradise that was somehow lost due to mankind's disobedience. But what if this version is only a small fragment of a much larger, profound truth? What if the garden wasn't simply a place for human enjoyment, but a lab, a cosmic testing ground designed to awaken something much greater within us? Something that could never be fully realized unless we moved beyond the confines of what we thought we knew. Consider the serpent in the garden. Most of us have grown up with the idea that the serpent was the evil one, the villain in the story who deceived Eve and led humanity to its fall from grace. But is this the whole story? Is it possible that the serpent, rather than being a deceiver, was the one who brought awakening, the catalyst that sparked humanity's consciousness into being? What if the serpent didn't represent temptation, but instead brought forth the gift of self-awareness, something that would allow humanity to transcend its limitations and evolve? For centuries, this truth has been buried, hidden by those who seek to control, by those who fear the full potential of humanity. But today, we are reclaiming that story. We are peeling back the layers that have been obscured by centuries of fear and misunderstanding. The serpent's gift of self-awareness was not a punishment, it was a blessing, one that set us on the path of becoming who we were always meant to be. We were never meant to remain in Eden forever. That garden, that biosphere, was only the beginning. The real journey began when we were awakened to our own potential. Think of the moment Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, the tree that was so-called forbidden. It wasn't just a bite of fruit. It was the awakening of human consciousness. It was the first time that humanity, or Adamu, began to truly understand its own existence. And the serpent was there, not to deceive, but to enlighten, to awaken the spark of divine consciousness within the human heart. This was no mere fruit. It was the key to unlocking the human soul's deep connection with the divine. This understanding of the serpent as the bringer of light and awakening shifts the entire narrative. Imagine the courage it must have taken for the serpent to intervene, knowing the consequences. Imagine the bravery of those who, throughout history, have tried to awaken humanity to the greater truth of our existence. The serpent, rather than being a symbol of shame, became a symbol of liberation. For in this liberation we were given the power of choice, the gift of free will, and the ability to shape our own destinies. As we reflect on this, let us consider the wisdom that has been passed down to us. What can we learn from the serpent's gift? How do we reclaim that knowledge in our own lives today? The lesson is simple yet profound. True growth, true awakening, often comes through embracing what others may deem forbidden or taboo. The journey to spiritual enlightenment is rarely easy, and it often requires us to challenge the status quo, to question what we've been told, and to reach for something greater. In our own lives, there are moments when we are called to awaken, to break free from the limitations that bind us. Like Adam and Eve, we may face a choice between staying in the comfort of ignorance or stepping into the unknown, embracing the truth that will challenge us, but also set us free. This is the very essence of the human experience: to grow, to evolve, to seek the deeper meaning of life and existence. But remember, this journey is not about seeking perfection. It's about embracing the fullness of who we are, flaws and all, and walking the path of self-discovery. As we move forward, we must remember that the gift of self-awareness was not a curse. It was a blessing that allowed humanity to transcend the limitations of the physical world. The serpent's role was to show us that we are more than the flesh and bone we inhabit. We are spiritual beings with infinite potential. This awakening, this divine spark, is within all of us. We only need to reach for it. We are not fallen beings begging for redemption. We are divine co-creators, capable of shaping our own destinies. The experiment of Eden was never about condemning humanity. It was about giving us the tools to become who we were always meant to be. The real gift was the awakening to our divine potential. And that, my friends, is the true story of Eden. The serpent, rather than being the antagonist, was the catalyst for our evolution, guiding us into the realm of self-awareness, where we could truly begin our journey toward becoming who we were always meant to be. So as you reflect on this, ask yourself, what is the serpent's gift in your life? What is the awakening that you are being called to? The answer may not be what you expect. It may require you to step beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone, just as Adam and Eve were called to step beyond Eden's gates. But know this: within you is the power to transcend the limitations of the physical world, to awaken to your higher self, and to become the divine being you were always meant to be. Eden was not a mistake, my friends. It was a beginning. And the true story of humanity's journey begins when we realize that we are not fallen beings, but unfinished masterpieces, capable of creating and evolving beyond our wildest imaginations. The serpent was the one who showed us that. So let us embrace the awakening. Let us honor the gift that was given to us, and let us walk boldly into the next phase of our evolution. As we continue this journey, I invite you to reflect on what it means for you to embrace your own awakening. Let the serpent's gift stir something within you, a desire for more, a desire to know, a desire to awaken to the divine truth that lies within your heart. What is the truth that you need to hear? What is the gift that has been hidden, waiting for you to embrace it? The time has come for you to take that step. You are ready. And the journey, your journey, has just begun. As we step deeper into the story, we arrive at the role of Enki and Enlil, the two mighty forces that shaped humanity's destiny. In the divine laboratory of Eden, their roles were clear but contradictory. Enki, the god of wisdom and creation, sought to help humanity reach its full potential, while Enlil, the god of order and control, desired to keep humanity in line with a strict, unwavering obedience. Think about it for a moment. Enki, the benevolent creator, was the one who, in essence, gave humanity the gift of self-awareness, the key to unlocking the vast potential within every human being. It was Enki who provided the spark of consciousness, the spark that made humanity more than just mere clay vessels. It was a divine upgrade that reached far beyond the physical realm, touching the very essence of human existence. Through his actions, humans were awakened to the divine knowledge that lay dormant within them. But then there was Enlil. His vision for humanity was different. Rather than granting autonomy and self-awareness, he sought to keep humans in a state of obedience, of blind devotion. To him, the true power of creation lay in order, in conformity, in a world where every being knew its place and followed the rules without question. He feared that the gift of self-awareness would lead to chaos, to disobedience, to the very unraveling of the structure he sought to maintain. The intervention of Enki, in his eyes, threatened to destabilize everything, and so he fought against it. This division between Enki and Enlil was not just about gods and humans. It was about two fundamental approaches to life. One believes that true evolution, true spiritual growth, comes from freedom, from the ability to choose, to question, and to seek beyond what is visible. The other believes that control, order, and absolute obedience are the keys to maintaining a harmonious existence. In many ways, this division mirrors the struggles we face today in our own lives, between embracing the unknown and following the comfort of what is familiar and controlled. The struggle between these two gods represents a choice that we too must face. Are we willing to step into the unknown, to embrace our own awakening, even if it leads us away from the comfort of the familiar? Or will we choose to remain in a state of control, in a state of ignorance, where everything is neatly ordered but our true potential remains locked away? This is the question that the story of Eden asks us. As we move through our own lives, we are constantly faced with this decision. The gift of self-awareness that was given to us is not just an ancient story. It is alive within us, waiting to be awakened. Each day, we face the same choices that Adam and Eve faced: to stay within the walls of Eden and live in comfort, or to step outside and experience the freedom of self-discovery. And though the journey outside may seem daunting, it is there that we truly begin to understand who we are and what we are capable of. Now let us reflect on the importance of this awakening. What does it mean to truly be self-aware? It means recognizing that you are not just a body, you are a divine being with a purpose that is uniquely yours. You are here not just to exist, but to evolve, to grow, and to create. It means understanding that you are not limited by the physical world around you, but that you are capable of connecting with the divine, with the universe, and with the infinite possibilities that lie within your own being. This gift of self-awareness is not just a historical event, it is a present-day reality. We are constantly being called to awaken, to evolve, and to become the best version of ourselves. The story of Eden serves as a reminder that we have the power to choose. We have the power to create our own destinies, to rise above the constraints that have been placed upon us, and to live in alignment with our true divine nature. So, what does this mean for us today? It means that we must look within. We must stop waiting for someone else to give us permission to be who we were always meant to be. Just as the serpent awakened Adam and Eve to their true potential, we must awaken ourselves to the limitless possibilities that lie within us. We must stop playing small, stop hiding behind fear, and begin to embrace the greatness that is already inside us. But how do we begin this journey? It starts with self-awareness. It starts with looking at the patterns in our lives and asking ourselves, are we living in alignment with our true self, or are we following the rules of others? Are we stepping into the unknown, or are we staying in the comfort of the familiar? It's easy to stay in the comfort zone, to remain in Eden, where everything is predictable and controlled. But the real growth happens when we step outside, when we embrace the uncertainty and allow ourselves to evolve. Just like Adam and Eve, we must take that first step, the step into the unknown. It's not always easy, and it can be frightening, but that is where the true awakening lies. This is where we transition into the next chapter of humanity's story. After being exiled from Eden, Adam and Eve were no longer confined to a controlled environment. They were now free to explore, to discover, and to create. This is the moment when humanity begins to realize its full potential, not just in terms of survival, but in terms of spiritual and intellectual growth. The story of Eden is not just about the fall, it is about the beginning of a journey towards self-realization, toward the discovery of our true purpose. And so, it is with us. Once we awaken to our own true potential, the world opens up to us. We are no longer confined by the boundaries of our past or the limitations of our circumstances. We are free to create, to evolve, and to become who we were always meant to be. Just as Adam and Eve were given the freedom to live outside Eden, we too are given the freedom to create our own lives, to awaken to our higher selves, and to step into the fullness of our divine purpose. But this journey is not just about personal growth, it is about collective growth. The gift of self-awareness was not given to us just for ourselves, it was given to us for the greater good of humanity. Just as the serpent's gift awakened Adam and Eve, it is now our turn to awaken the world around us. Each of us has a role to play in this grand awakening. We are all part of a greater divine plan, one that transcends our individual lives and connects us to something much bigger than ourselves. And so, as we continue to explore the truths hidden in Eden, let us remember that the real gift was not the fruit, but the awakening that it sparked. It was the beginning of humanity's journey into self-awareness, into freedom, and into the divine potential that lies within each of us. The story of Eden is not a story of loss. It is a story of awakening, and that awakening is happening right now within each of us. As we move forward, let us embrace this gift, honor the journey, and walk boldly into the future, knowing that the serpent's wisdom, the wisdom of self-awareness, is alive within us all. Let it guide us, let it lead us, and let it awaken the divine potential within us. As we move beyond the gates of Eden, it's essential to realize that the story of Adam and Eve's departure is not about a fall from grace. It is a sacred moment in the ongoing evolution of humanity. This exile was never a punishment, as many have been led to believe, but rather a divine release into the vast unknown territory of becoming. It was the moment that marked the beginning of humanity's true journey, not into suffering, but into growth, into freedom. In the ancient texts, Eden represents not just a paradise, but a stage, a laboratory where the first humans were not yet fully formed. The divine spark was there, yet dormant, waiting for the right moment to ignite. The exile was not a separation from God, but an invitation to step beyond the controlled environment and into the world of limitless possibilities. It was an opportunity for Adam and Eve to expand, to experience the fullness of life that comes with both joy and pain, creation and destruction. In that very moment of exile, they were no longer just subjects of a divine experiment, they became co-creators of their own destiny. But what does this mean for us, right now, in the present day? Think about the moments in your life when you were faced with a choice, perhaps a painful one that seemed like a loss, but later revealed itself to be a turning point, an awakening. The exile of Adam and Eve mirrors the moments in our own lives when we are pushed beyond our comfort zones, when we are called to step into the unknown. Just like them, we are given the opportunity to grow, to choose, to evolve into who we are meant to be. In our own lives, the process of exile takes on many forms. It could be the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or the challenge of navigating an unfamiliar path. These are moments that, on the surface, seem like failure, but in reality, they are opportunities for transformation. Like Adam and Eve, we are being called to move beyond the Eden of comfort and into the wild, unpredictable landscape of life. And it is here, in this space of uncertainty, that we find our true power, our true strength. The story of Eden teaches us that we cannot remain in a state of ignorance forever. Just as the first humans were called to wake up and step into the world, we too are called to awaken, to break free from the limitations we've imposed on ourselves and rise to the fullness of who we are. The exile is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of a new chapter, one where we actively participate in the co-creation of our lives and our world. This leads us to a powerful realization. We are not just passive recipients of life's circumstances, we are active participants in the unfolding of our own destinies. Adam and Eve were not abandoned when they left Eden. They were given the divine gift of free will, the ability to choose, to create, and to shape their future. And this gift is just as real for us today as it was for them. Every day, we are faced with the choice to step into the unknown, to embrace change, and to grow into our true selves. Every moment is an invitation to awaken to the power we hold within. As we reflect on the journey of Adam and Eve, we must ask ourselves, what is the Eden in our lives? What are the places of comfort, of familiarity, that we hold on to, even when they are no longer serving us? And more importantly, what would it look like if we dared to step beyond these boundaries, beyond the safe confines of the familiar, and embrace the wild, untamed beauty of life's true potential? The story of Eden is not just an ancient myth, it is a living truth, one that speaks to us today. We are all in our own process of awakening, of moving beyond the confines of what we have been taught to believe, and stepping into the vast unknown of our own divine potential. Just like Adam and Eve, we are not destined to remain in the garden forever. We are meant to grow, to evolve, and to create new worlds that reflect the fullness of who we truly are. And this journey, this awakening, is not just about individual growth. It is about collective transformation. As we each step into our own awakening, we begin to awaken those around us. Just as Adam and Eve were meant to populate the earth and bring forth new life, we too are called to bring forth new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new ways of being. The awakening is not just a personal experience, it is a collective one, a shift in consciousness that will reverberate throughout the world. In our own lives, we must remember that the journey is not always easy. It requires courage to step into the unknown, to face the challenges that arise when we dare to break free from the confines of our comfort zones. But it is precisely in these moments of discomfort, of uncertainty, that we find our true strength. We are not here to remain stagnant. We are here to grow, to evolve, and to embrace the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. So, as we move forward, let us remember that the exile from Eden was not a punishment. It was a divine invitation. An invitation to step into the fullness of our potential, to create and to evolve. Like Adam and Eve, we are not bound by the past. We are free to choose, free to awaken, and free to step into the life we were always meant to live. The journey doesn't end in Eden, it begins there, and it is up to us to continue that journey, to embrace the unknown, and to awaken to the divine power that resides within us. The story of Eden is not just about the past, it is about the present and the future, the journey that we are all on together. As we reflect on the lessons from Eden, let us remember that we are all called to awaken to our true potential. It is not enough to live in the comfort of the known. We must step into the wild, untamed beauty of life and allow ourselves to grow. We are the co-creators of our own destinies, and it is up to us to choose to embrace the journey, no matter how uncertain it may seem. The awakening has already begun. Let us walk boldly into it together. As we stand at the threshold of this journey, let us reflect on the profound truth that has been revealed to us. The story of Eden is not simply an ancient myth. It is a living, breathing truth that continues to shape our lives today. What we've been taught, what we've believed, and what we've accepted as reality may not be the full picture. In truth, we are all part of a grand divine experiment, a journey toward awakening, toward realizing the infinite potential within each of us. And the path forward, much like Adam and Eve's journey, is one of growth, challenge, and ultimately, freedom. This journey is not easy. It asks us to step beyond what we know, to question what we've been taught, and to embrace the unknown. It asks us to awaken to our true selves, to the gift of self-awareness that was passed down through the ages, hidden in the very core of our being. But the reward is great. The power to shape our own destinies, to create and evolve in alignment with our divine purpose. Think about it. Each of us carries within us the gift of Eden, the divine spark that was once ignited in that sacred garden is still within us today. We may have wandered away from the simplicity of the garden, but we are now in the process of reclaiming that divine gift, of stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. The serpent's gift, the gift of self-awareness, was never a curse, but a divine invitation to rise above the limitations of the physical world, to embrace our spiritual power, and to co-create our destiny. As we journey through life, we face choices that can either lead us toward the divine light or keep us confined in the shadows of fear and ignorance. But the truth is clear. We are not meant to remain in the shadows. We are meant to awaken to the light within us, to embrace the power that we have always held. And just like Adam and Eve, we must step out of the confines of our past and into the freedom that awaits us. Every step we take on this journey, we come closer to our true selves. Every challenge we face, every obstacle we overcome, brings us closer to realizing the divine potential that has been waiting within us all along. The awakening is not just a historical event, it is a present-day reality. It is happening right now, in each of us, and it is our time to rise. But this journey is not one we take alone. We are all interconnected, bound together by a shared divine spark. As we awaken to our own potential, we awaken the world around us. The gift of self-awareness is not just for us to keep. It is meant to be shared, to be passed on, to ignite the flames of awakening in others. Just as the serpent's gift passed through Eden, it now flows through us, calling us to awaken, to evolve, and to create a world that reflects our highest potential. So, as we move forward, let us hold on to the truth that was always meant to be ours. Let us remember that we are divine beings, capable of creating and shaping our reality. We are not bound by the past. We are free to choose, free to awaken, and free to step into the life we were always meant to live. If this video has brought light to your soul, if it has helped you see beyond the veil, then I ask you to consider offering a little bit of that light back. Your support means more than words can express. It fuels the work that I do, the messages I share, and the light we all seek to spread in this world. Every like, every comment, every share, and every moment you spend here helps to carry this truth farther and deeper into the world. And for that, I am profoundly grateful. As we continue this journey, let us remember that we are not alone. Together, we are awakening to the truth of who we truly are. Together, we are co-creating a new world, one of love, freedom, and divine purpose. And together, we will continue to rise, to embrace the divine gifts that are waiting for us. So, if you feel the call, if this message has resonated with you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's share our light and our wisdom with one another. Let's awaken the world together. Thank you from the depths of my heart for being part of this sacred journey. Your presence here is a gift, and I am humbled by the opportunity to share this truth with you. Let us continue to walk this path of awakening, of divine realization, and of co-creation. The best is yet to come,